You read the title of this video right. We're doing a smart thing today. So if you have absolutely no idea what a marketing strategy generator even is, but you think it sounds cool, you came to the right place. So what's a marketing strategy generator? Marketing strategy generators generate marketing strategies. Okay, now seriously. Marketing strategy generators are a powerful tool for marketing agencies. Think about them as quizzes that ask your website visitors about their business, and the quiz results show them the perfect marketing strategy specifically for them. Imagine you run a marketing agency. People come to your website to see what services you offer. You can, of course, just list these services. But what if you could talk to them and recommend the best strategy specifically for their business? That's exactly what a strategy generator is. And today, we will be making one from scratch. So this is how to build a marketing strategy generator. First, we're going to create the look. So I already have my branding guidelines ready to go, like my fonts, colors, and all that jazz. Next, I'm going to go to the Involve Me app and start a new project from scratch. They have over 200 plus templates, so you can totally just select one of those and edit that, but I want to show you how easy it is to fully control everything within your project. So I'm going to go for a blank canvas. In order to set up my editor, I need to select what I want to happen at the end of my generator. If I want everyone to end up on the same page but with a custom message, then I would need to select the thank you page project type. But I don't want that. I want people to end up on different pages based on what they told me. So I'm going to go ahead and select the answer-based outcomes project type. I'm going to click on Start Editing, and I have entered the editor. This is like Canva, but for quizzes. You just drag and drop. That's all it takes. You can build really impressive functionality with this. But first, let me get my branding guidelines and set up the look. A really helpful tool to find colors that match and to see what design you want your project to have is to use a color calculator, which is what I use to find the colors that I want for this project. I will leave a link in the description below for the color calculator I used. So I'm just going to click on Design on the right side of my screen and then go to Project Design. And here you can see you can really edit the design of your project. First, I'm going to start with my background because I think that's the most important part of the design. And to create my background, I could just select a color. So here you can just select a blue color, for example. But I really want to go all out for my design, so I'm actually going to design something in Canva. So I'm just going to head over to Canva, and I will show you guys how I design my backgrounds. So I'm just going to click on Create Design and then select Custom Size. The size I like to use for the Involve Me layout is 1500 times 800. And then I'm gonna create the design. And here immediately on the left side, you can see it suggests some designs. So I'm actually going to go for the Mint Made Fashion design, and I'm going to select the first slide that comes up. So then I'm just going to delete all the text. So I'm then just going to change the overall background of this design to the branding guideline colors from my design, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to grab this color and I'm going to copy and paste it in here. And now you can see it's a nice pastel blue color. So I actually like how this looks just like this. I'm not going to do anything else. If you want, you can, design this completely from scratch, but I'm no designer, so this is perfect for me. So I'm just going to download this onto my computer. And then once it's downloaded, I'm just going to drag and drop it onto my desktop. And then from my desktop, I'm just simply going to drag and drop this image into the desktop background image section of Involve Me. And there you go. That's how simple it is. So now that I have my background, I want to adjust the colors to match it. I'm just going to copy and paste all my branding guideline colors in here. Cool. So I love how that looks. Now I'm moving on to the fonts. I'm kind of working my way upwards through the design. So I'm just going to use, I don't know what this is called. Fajala 1? That's not how you say it. But I'm just going to switch the fonts so it matches what I had in mind. Where's Oswald? Oswald. And lastly, you just want to double check that the background works both for desktop and mobile. So all you have to do is click on Design Preview and you can see how it looks on mobile as well. So I like how it looks on mobile, but if you don't, all you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom, and where it says mobile same as desktop, just uncheck this box and then you can upload a different image for mobile specifically. So that's just another option you have, but I'm gonna leave it like this because I like how it looks. Ooh, the one thing I forgot is underneath the tab colors and styles, there's also something called rounded corners, and I'm gonna drag that all the way to 25 because you'll see later it looks much better. So that's just another thing that's super cool about Involve Me. And we're all set. So now everything new that you drag and drop in here is going to have these settings already. Let me just show you. So let's just drag and drop a multiple choice, for example, in here. As you can see, it already has all the colors and the button roundness and everything. So let me just show you how it looks when the buttons are not rounded. Oof, the audacity. No, I don't like it. Okay, we're leaving it for rounded corners. Cool. Now that the design is ready, let's move on to functionality. We're making a marketing strategy generator. So before anything, we need to know what strategies we are going to be recommending. My fictional marketing agency offers 1. Content marketing and SEO for no-touch B2B businesses, 2. Social media advertising for e-commerce businesses, and 3. Google My Business optimization for local brick-and-mortar businesses. I will create one page for each strategy, and those are the pages that people will land on at the end of my strategy generator. So I already have 2 pages automatically added in here, but I'm just going to rename them. This is such an important step, and you'll see why later. So let's start with the content marketing and SEO page. To name the outcome page, I'm just going to hover over the outcome page I want to name, and then click the little pencil icon. I'm just going to name this one content. All right, now that we've named the pages, it's time to move on to the content. What I typically insert into these result pages is firstly and most importantly, a header. So I'll just drag and drop the heading element in here and then name it Content Marketing and SEO. Then you will need a short description. You can either use the subline text for this, or you can drag and drop a text content element onto the page. I am going to opt for a text content element. Actually changed my mind. I'm gonna use the subline text. Then I also need to add a client testimonial, which I will also do just by dragging and dropping a text element. I will just make this italics and make it larger. And I'm also going to add a space divider in here. And lastly, I want to add a CTA that leads to a calendar link where people can book a one-on-one call with me. So I will just drag and drop a button content element at the bottom of the page. And then where it says link, you can select to have a URL in a new tab open up. And then you can insert the URL you want the button to lead to. So that's an amazing option. And there you go. Your result page is finished, and you can just repeat this step for all of your result pages. So this is what your website visitors will see once completing your strategy quiz. So basically, this is the strategy that it generates. So you can just repeat this step for each one of your result pages. But how do we get to this point? How do we know who goes where? Well, we need to ask questions. Questions that determine which strategy is the most suitable for each website visitor. Questions like, what's your business model? How do you turn leads into customers? And what industry best describes you? Those are the questions that I will be asking. The more questions you ask, the more detailed answers you'll receive. However, keep in mind, the more questions you ask, the less information you'll receive. People have short attention spans, and they'll click off if you ask too many questions. Drop-off rates go up after question number 4, so just keep that in mind. If you need to ask many questions and you want drop-off rates to remain low, keep the progress bar feature enabled. It shows people how much longer they have to go. Also, numbering your questions 1 out of 4 instead of just simply saying 1 is also a good thing to employ. So I'm just going to head back to my first page and I'm going to delete this content that I have on here, and I'm going to drag and drop an image answer content element onto the page. For the first question, I will just type in 1 out of 3 and copy and paste my question in here. So what's your business model? Then I'm going to scroll down to options, and where it says image shape, I'm going to change that to a circle because I don't want any corners. And I'm going to untick display answers text. This just removes the writing underneath the images because I want my text to already be in the images. So I went back to Canva and I created some more designs for this. So I will just drag and drop them in here. And there you go. That looks super great. So those are the questions that help you determine the strategy and how best to ask them in order for people to actually answer them. But there are also questions you can ask that serve your sales team more than your customers. Questions like, what's your expected monthly budget? How big is your team? And who is your biggest competitor? These questions will give your sales team information they'll need for a call so they can better prepare and construct a better pitch. Okay, so you have your questions and you have your answers. Now, how do we connect all of this? It's super easy. Let me show you. So click on the question and then scroll down. Under each answer, there's an option to map to outcome. Select the outcome that makes sense for each strategy. For example, B2B goes to content. This is why I told you it's super important to name your outcome pages. If you want to get really specific and generate very accurate strategies, you can even connect multiple outcomes to each question, but with different point values. To do this, you will have to scroll back up to options and then select individual score and calculations. So just tick that box, and then when you scroll back down, you will see that you can change the value or the weight of each specific outcome. So for the same answer, I'm going to give content 5 points, and I'm going to map to another outcome, and I'm going to select social media. I'm going to give that 3 points, and then I'm going to map to another outcome and select Google My Business, and I'm going to give that -5 points. And then you just need to repeat this step for each answer and for each question. After you have connected everything, there's one last thing we need to do in the editor, and it's the most important thing. You need to email gate your strategy. We're exchanging a marketing strategy for somebody's email. This is pretty fair. So just add another page and then drag and drop the contact form content element onto the page. That's all you need to do to email gate your generator. Additionally, I want to add a few more fields to this contact form, so just scroll down to form fields and click on add new. And then I'm going to select organization name and drag that up underneath the last name. And I also want to add website. So I'm also going to put that above the email. And I'm going to make everything required. So I'm just going to tick these boxes. And that's it. Everything is connected. Once you're done though, please make sure to preview and test your project. If something is not connected correctly, you want to know before your project goes live. To test your strategy, just click on Design Preview at the bottom, and here you will see how everything looks, both on desktop and on mobile. But if you want to go a step further and see how your website visitors see your marketing strategy generator exactly, click on Try It at the top of your screen and you will see your strategy generator exactly how it would show up on your website. So if you're happy with how everything looks and you have fixed any issues you may have come across, then just simply go back to the editor and click on Publish. This step will also let you know if there are any issues with your project. When you click this button, if something is not right on your project, a pop-up will appear telling you what the issue is and on which page you can find it. So for example, if I forgot to add a button at the end of one of my pages, then it will just warn me about it here. But if there are no issues, you'll land on the settings page. Here you can adjust your URL or hide the Involve Me branding with a generic domain. This is also where you set up something super important, which is follow-up emails. Email is the biggest driver of sales, especially for marketing agencies. Fast is the new big, and nothing is faster than an automated email being sent straight after someone has filled out your generator. And of course, you can send completely different emails with different text for each strategy. All you have to do is scroll down to email notifications and click on Send Custom Email to Participants. Then just tick the box where it says Send different emails for each outcome, and here you can select which outcome you want to customize an email for. You can even personalize this to have your participant's first name pop up in the subject line or any other personal information they filled out to come up within the email. This is also great if you want to increase your email open rate. So I'm just going to insert their first name and organization name into the subject line. You can personalize the content of the email in the same way. And of course, don't forget to add your booking link into the email itself. If you scroll down even further, you can see that there's something called social media sharing. Here, you can customize a social media sharing text and upload a social media sharing image. I usually just use a screenshot of the first page of my strategy generator and use that. You can also set up tracking like Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, and Google Tag Manager. So then if you click Publish again, that's when your project will go live. You will get a link, a short link, a QR code, and an embed code. You can also adjust the size of the embed code to either have it on a select section of your website or have it as a full screen embed. All the changes you make will appear on the auto-generated preview. And there you have it. That is how you can create a marketing strategy generator from scratch in less than an hour. Also, it's just fun to play around with the colors and create something from scratch. If you want to try out Involve Me with all the customization and personalization options, I have a discount code for you in the description below where you can get 2 months for free on any of the paid plans. So make sure to use that. Well, that is it for today's video. I really hope it was helpful. If it was, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That would really help us out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we post a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye!